Hey guys, Curtis with Thunder Beast. Another sciencing video. This time we're going to go through the differences between the wave profile at the shooter's ear for a semi-automatic rifle versus a bolt-action rifle shooting the same ammo with the same barrel length. So for this test, we're using 300 blackout ammo. Both the semi-auto and the bolt-action are 8-inch barrels. The semi-auto is a completely stock gas system with a fixed gas block, untuned with an H2 buffer weight. The bolt-action is an 8-inch 700 Remington 700. Supersonic ammo is Red Mountain Arsenal 110 grain VMAX, and the subsonic ammo is Ammo Inc. Stealth 220 grain. The suppressor in all the testing we used was the new Magnus CB. So before we get into the shooter's ear profile differences, an interesting note here is Pascals. Here is the supersonic crack for the 300 blackout supersonic ammo. And you can see the Blue Wave, which is the subsonic ammo, does not have a supersonic crack because it's subsonic. So here's the shooter wave profile for bolt action versus semi-auto with the subsonic ammo. The bolt action is the Blue Wave, the semi-auto is the Gray Wave. So the Blue Wave in this case, because it's a bolt action, is going to be the washback coming from the muzzle report of the suppressor. And I would define that as the baseline at the shooter's ear for what a weapon platform of 8 inches with 300 blackout subsonic ammo can be. The gray that you're seeing is the addition of the semi-auto system to the shooter's ear wave profile. So starting at the left, we have the hammer drop for the AR-15 versus the hammer drop for the Remington 700. Now those don't align because our DAC doesn't trigger off of the trigger pull. It triggers off of the first pressure wave it sees coming out of the suppressor. So you can see here, there's a difference in lock time between the two weapon systems. Once the wave profile hits, though, the data lines up, and moving to the right, this first peak we see is the piston opening up in the bolt carrier group, and those two little vents bleeding out to the right, out of the port. The peak for the subsonic at ear is going to be that bolt carrier group opening up and ejecting the round. Now we have decay, and then this secondary peak here is the bolt carrier group coming forward and closing on the next round. Now we can confirm all that because if we calculate from trigger pull to round loading, we get about 650 rounds per minute, which is right in the realm of possibility for what an AR-15 should cycle at. So in this slide, the gray profile is still subsonic ammo, semi-auto. The blue is now supersonic ammo on the same weapon platform. You can see the trigger drop is the same between the two because it's the same weapon. The biggest thing here is you can see there's a timing difference and peak dB difference between the two ammos. So the supersonic ammo, because it's running at a higher pressure, it's a higher energy input, the whole system's going to run faster. The timing, everything's going to happen faster. So it's going to open the bolt faster. And the peak decibels, because that bolt is opening faster and it's a higher pressure round, is also going to be higher. So you're looking at, in an untuned system, you're pushing a dB peak at your ear of roughly 147 versus with the subsonic you're like 137. So 10 decibels difference between those two ammos. And again, this is an untuned AR. If we travel further to the right, you can still see this is the subsonic ammo picking up the next round, and it's a little bit harder to see because the decay isn't as fast with the supersonic ammo, but here's the supersonic ammo picking up the next round. And if we calculate that, we get about 1,000 rounds per minute, which again is in the realm of possibility. We definitely see overgassed ARs running at a higher cyclic rate, which is normal. Again, the biggest thing here is the timing is just faster with that supersonic ammo, and it's kind of what happens when you tune an AR too, is you slow everything down so that everything can come down in decibels and everything can vent a little bit more before you open that bolt carrier group up. So the last slide I have for you, the dark blue is the mil-spec wave profile for subsonic on bolt action. And I wanted that there for a baseline so you can see what just the suppressor report is. The three waves behind it are mil-spec left, mil-spec right, and shooter's ear with subsonic ammo on the semi-auto. the biggest thing here that I want you guys to look at is here's the peak for the subsonic ammo on the bolt action, and you can see right in that same spot is the peak for both mill left and mill right on the semi-auto. But if you look to the right, there's this other peak that's showing up in those same profiles. And that peak is actually the port pop washing out and being louder than the suppressor report. That's something that also is pretty common when you get to subsonic ammo or super quiet suppressors, is now the semi-auto function of the rifle system is the loudest part of the wave profile. You could kind of look and, it's the timing doesn't exactly line up on the profiles between shooter's ear and the mill left, mill right on the semi-auto. And that just has to do with distance from the event to the microphones. You're going to see the trigger or the hammer drop first on the shooter's ear mic because it's closer to the action versus the mill spec and mill left. And what's cool is our mics are sensitive enough that we can still pick all those events up, and we can see how they're happening even in mill left and mill right. So there's a lot of data there. Please post your comments, questions, let us know what you want to see from us, but that's all I got for you. Thanks.